Their service is a part of America's history. Join us as we step into their story.
Well, back in 1950, during the Korean War, just after we graduated from high school in Corozal, Puerto Rico, my high school principal had a letter from the U.S. government that they want us, everyone that graduated from high school, they want us into the Army for the Korean War. We report to Fort Buchanan. In Fort Buchanan, they assign us to another Army base that was called Tortuguero by the ocean in Puerto Rico. And we had 14 weeks of basic training. In Korea, we joined the 3rd Infantry Division. And then about 6 months later, we had a general in Puerto Rico that complained that he wanted us with him, so they transferred us to the 65th Infantry Division, 65th Infantry Regiment. That was all Puerto Ricans. I was a rifleman. We were fighting against Chinese, and most of the Chinese there, they were young people, probably 14, 15 years old. But it was not easy for us. A whole bunch of us didn't come back to Puerto Rico. They died in Korea. I was lucky that the Lord brought me back. Well, when I left Korea, they sent me back to Puerto Rico for another 2 years. And then I had the opportunity to get out of the Army or stay in the Army. So I said, well, if I went to a war, now that we got peace, I decided to stay. So I have enlisted for 6 more years. And then in Puerto Rico, we stayed 2 years. From Puerto Rico, they sent me to Dogway Proving Ground, the state of Utah. That's what they used to prove the chemical gases and the atomic bombs in Dogway Proving Ground. I was there for about 6 months, and from there they sent me to Alaska because they had a team of Army people in Alaska testing the chemical gases and the atomic bombs during the cold weather season. About 6 months later, I brought my family, my wife and my little girl, to Germany with me. We stayed another 2.5 years. And then from Germany, they sent me back to the States, to Fort Belvoir, Virginia. From Fort Belvoir, Virginia, they called me from the Pentagon. We had to get passports from me and my family to go to Guatemala City to teach the Guatemalan Army and the Guatemalan Air Force how to use American weapons. In Guatemala, I was there for 5 years. No, it was not a good duty because we had to fight the guerrillas from Castro, Cuba. They were in the mountains. That's why President Kennedy sent us to Guatemala to teach the army down there to fight the Cubans through the mountains, the guerrillas. They sent me back to Fort Hood, yes, back to Fort Hood, to the 2nd Armored Division, Hell on Wheels. After my trip to Vietnam the first time, they sent me to the 1st Cavalry Division here in Fort Hood, where I was another year. A year later, they sent me back to Vietnam for the 2nd time. In Vietnam, we used to, when it was ending, when the war was ending, we used to collect wood and material to make school for children. That was about the best time I spent my Army career, when we were helping those children in Vietnam with schools or material to make them stuff like that.